I'm doing great, even though every day's not fine. But still I woke up today, another day to get on my grind. Got me singing, whoa, whoa. Effort and bills were born ready. Whoa, whoa. Effort and bills were born ready. I'm doing great, even though every day's not fine. But still I woke up today, another day to get on my grind. Got me singing, whoa, whoa. Effort and bills were born ready. Whoa, whoa. Effort and bills were born ready.
Good evening, Live Wire fans, and welcome to another episode of Between the Lines, presented to you by Live Wire Sports. We are here with another special episode. We are well into season 2 here. We're on to like 5, 6, maybe even 7 episodes. But listen, we are on the bar. We are rolling, getting ready to go with another very special guest we have here. Tonight's guest is Mr. Akeem Morris. Akeem, how are you doing today?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Glad to have you on the show, man. How you feel about this? Listen, this is a big thing now. People come in between the lines and get famous off of this show. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I don't think I could hear you if you could hear me.
All right, so you cannot hear us. We're going to see if we can fix these technical difficulties really quickly. All right, can you hear us now?
Hey, I could hear you now.
All right, good. So we're just saying how Live Wire is the show. I mean, Between the Lines is the show that really puts you on the map. How do you feel about being a special guest here on Between the Lines?
Man, this is an honor. It was on my goals for 2021. I didn't really contact you, but it been in my book, and one day I get a call, and it's just manifestation. So I'm glad to be part of the show.
Listen. I didn't know we had that impact on people's life where you actually rated this down as a goal. So this is a big thing for us as well. I think Live Wire is doing an excellent job, and we love to hear the stories of our very own here from the Virgin Islands and the path in life, definitely.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. We're going to jump right into this interview right now. So we want to talk about your early childhood. What sport did you play growing up?
So I play a little bit of basketball, mainly baseball. You know, I play a little bit of volleyball here and there, but you say basketball and baseball mostly.
Okay. Now, what made you choose basketball and baseball over other sports like volleyball?
I feel like I was just exposed to it a little bit more. So my father had played basketball. He always loved basketball. So I always wanted to be like my father. So I wanted to play basketball. And then my mother used to play softball. So she used to pitch and do them type of stuff. So I was kind of brought into those two realms. Didn't really know much about football and volleyball per se. So that's how I kind of get into those sports.
Now, did you get into a tug of war there with the parents of one being a really good basketball player, one being a really good softball player?
Nah, they just always used to support us. Like, whatever I want to do, I do. As long as I playing sports or something that discipline and, bettering yourself, we good for that.
No, that's an interesting thing you said just now. You talked about discipline and bettering yourself. That's something that you got from playing sports at a young age, correct?
100%. I don't know where I'd be without sports.
It's crazy because oftentimes people who aren't sports lovers, they don't see the growth and what sports do, how it builds you as a person. So I'm glad to hear you say that discipline was something that you got out of sports growing up at such an early age.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the only reason why I got where I was because, I mean, honestly, I wasn't the best player, but I just always worked hard. And discipline is what got me where I needed to be,
All right, so that's it right. That's it right. Hard working. This is why we like to have kids playing sports from that young age. From 3 years old, we playing sports. Teaches you teamwork, teaches you discipline, it teaches you perseverance. Listen, like you said, you're not going to always be the best player, but you can make a career or you can get as far as college with these sports. So definitely a big thing in our community, definitely growing up here in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, starting with your basketball career, you're talking about elementary basketball. You played on any school teams, elementary basketball or baseball?
Yeah, man. I played for, I went to Marcelli. So I played with Marcelli school that year. We actually went to the championship one year, ended up losing to Corwin, Alberto, and Andres, and the man one that they kill us. But it's still a good little time. Went to junior high, play a little bit there. And then I played 1 year at JV when I was in high school at Charlotte Mali.
No, how impactful was it? No, it's crazy because Marcelli is a school that's no longer in the Department of Education. It's really
Yeah.
sad to see all these schools going. Corwin, which actually turned to Gladys Abraham, is no longer a part of the Department of Education either. So it's just crazy to see these childhood memories kind of disappearing. But
Yeah.
hearing talked about through the sports realm is like it always keeps it living. You always have
Yeah.
the rest between elementary schools and sports. So sports is what really keeps some of these elementary schools alive in our thoughts.
Yeah, man. Big games all the time. Never forget it. You know.
Definitely,
Yeah, man.
definitely.
Yeah.
Now into baseball. Did you play elementary baseball or anything of that sort?
So I started playing baseball when I was around 5, 6. I used to play for Mr. Charles well with the Suns in Pee Wee League. Started a little late, so only played 1 year there, and then went straight into Little League after. Actually, I played about 2 years in Pee Wee. Now you're thinking about it because Little League is 9, so played about
Right.
2 years in Pee Wee League, and then we went into Little League. Yeah,
Now, one of the big things I love about Little League or any sport, BB basketball, track and field at that age, is you to meet some of your best friends in life there. People that
yeah,
you talk to forever. You have any friends from Little League or BD basketball days that you still talk to right now?
yeah, man. I could name a couple of them. I mean, Bram, everybody know Christian Bramble, know him from young. Demois Belanja, I still link up with him all the time. Kyle Schillingford. I mean, the list will go on, honestly.
Definitely, like those days are like the days where nothing mattered besides
Yeah,
going to the ballpark, hanging out with your friends,
yeah,
sleepovers, going to movies, and those are the people that you continue to grow with because they had a big impact. Whether you know it or not, as kids, you have a
yeah,
big impact on each other's lives. So those end up
yeah.
out being your best friends in life after that.
It's funny because it's crazy. I just listened to the y'all intro and it's toured on it, right? And we grew up playing baseball together. We even went to our first
Definitely.
year at college together and actually tried to play on the baseball team there. So it's like a lot of major ties that just bring back memories, and it's like crazy. You know?
And it's
Where
just so
sports could
crazy.
take you.
You guys played the same sport growing up and took two different avenues and are both
Mhm.
successful in what you do. So that's a big
Exactly.
deal. Hey, we may
Yeah.
gotta get caught on this thing. Hey,
I gotta get a man on it, man.
you're right, you're right. That's a good one. Day. You need to think about that. All right, moving forward. Now, JV baseball, JV basketball. Was this a thing for you? Did you play a lot in those years growing up, middle school, ninth
Yeah.
grade, freshman year?
Yeah, so I definitely played both sports. So when it came to varsity basketball, I didn't feel like I was good enough to even try out for it, and I wanted to kind of like just get one sport that I could really focus in on because you're trying to start talking about scholarships, you're talking about going to different levels, and you gotta really put your all in it. Except for it had certain man that could have do it all, but I just tried to focus in on one thing. So yeah, baseball was definitely that for me, where I felt like I was better.
So you locked into baseball at about ninth grade.
Yeah. After my ninth grade season with JV basketball and JV baseball, I just locked straight into baseball. Yeah, yeah.
Now, how was your high school career here in baseball? Because honestly, these days, and it's really sad to see. As a sports fan, sports lover, who's still here in the Virgin Islands, we don't play many baseball games right now.
Mm.
What was the baseball scene, the baseball atmosphere like for you when you were in high school?
So when I was in JV, so my first 2 years at JV in high school, I used to get hyped because our JV team only used to play Ken JV and we used to play Concrine JV team.
Right.
But as far as the varsity goes, you had our Saints, you had Ken, would go across, play complex, play central. Like it was kind of competitive. So once we actually got to JV, well, we used to watch man like Carsten and Jabari Blash play against like the Cotton Brothers and stuff, and it's just like always a hype year, you know what I mean? So my 2 years of varsity, I actually played my best 2 years of baseball. Best careers, best accolades. My last year, I got everything except for the batting title and pitching title. But great average, and then got into a decent program for college.
Now going back to that, did you play a Charlotte Mali or Ken?
Come on, man. We's a hawk. Shout out to Molly. All day.
Listen, I gotta be really professional. I know you, and we play on the same team, but I gotta
I
let
just say, yeah, man. But yeah,
no.
for sure, we play with the Hawks.
Well, let's talk about the Hawks travel baseball because that was a big thing as well. That's a team that we travel with just about every year.
Yeah.
What is the importance you think of travel baseball and getting exposure in the States to get recruited for college baseball or any other sport at that matter?
Honestly, it'll remind you, it'll pull you back, especially if you was the better team. So our team went undefeated for that whole year, my whole senior year. And then we went to the States and we started playing these other teams, and it's like it wasn't as easy to run over the other teams. And We actually got one hitted by this one guy. He was from Tennessee. He got drafted, Phil Fife. I'm sure you remember him.
He's just for the Braves right now.
Yeah. He actually with the Giants now.
Oh,
He,
you're right.
him and my brother have been on a couple teams together. They're actually on the same team right now. But it's crazy because I was like, yeah, this guy going all the way. Ended up going to Vanderbilt. But the type of competition you see outside of the district is crazy. You think you're good until you're there, and then you just realize you have to work 10 times harder. You know.
Now, let me test you. Remember any other major leaguers from that team? Because you had another one on that team as
well. No, I do not. The big left-handed dude. That's all I could tell you.
We have Nicky Delmonico, who plays for the
Delmonico. Okay.
Yes. On that team as well. Listen, we play against some good players in them tournaments. No? Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
The growth and the development of playing against other competition. It's always fun and games to play here against your friends and your rivals from here. But when you go against the unknown, it really gets you to develop your talent and become the player that you really want to be at those travel ball stages. Did you play any travel ball teams?
Yeah, growing up, I played with the Explorers. You know, we always used to go once a year. I also played with our RBI team as well. We went to Santo Domingo a couple times, played with the VI Olympic team, went over to St. Croix and play some qualification games, that type of stuff.
Now, you would be glad to know that RBI baseball and softball is a program that's now returning to the Virgin Islands. So there's a lot of RBI games going now.
Really?
They started later in this month, in July, where they'll have RBI baseball going here in the Virgin Islands. And now they have added RBI softball as well. So being
dope.
a lot of the RBI baseball pool, you'll be glad to know that that is going here in the Virgin Islands again.
That's amazing. So does it work the same way? Are you guys actually having people come in to play you guys, or it's more like district and then you go out to different places?
My understanding is both, but we're actually going to have another guest on that was going to explain a little bit more about the RBI baseball.
Gotcha.
Next coming week.
Okay, cool. That's good to hear.
Moving forward about you playing with a national team, because that's a big thing. A lot of people kind of don't play it sometimes, but you get to represent your country on a national stage. You get to put on those VI colors and really show up for them. What was it like being a part of the national team? And what year were you a part of the team?
I'd be lying if I tell you that year. Honestly, I feel like a long time ago. But I was in my first year of college probably, or my senior year of high school, and it wasn't the tournament itself, but it was qualification. So we had to play Puerto Rico, we had to play Santo Domingo, we had to play a couple other teams. But it was really good representing my country. I was pretty much one of the youngest players there. I was just with a lot of veterans. And I mean, I felt like I belonged there. And it was such a good feeling working so hard all my life to finally get to that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the big thing. You don't have to necessarily make it to the major leagues in baseball, for example, to be successful in your baseball career. You got a chance to represent your country, or you get a chance to coach younger children. I consider that successful, definitely when it comes to a baseball career here in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, for sure. As long as you could impact your community and people actually remember that you used to do something on the next level, or they feel like they could come to you for advice, that's what we're really here for, is a village, you know?
Definitely. Now, with you being able to travel on the national team and any all-star teams that you played with, what were some of the places you were able to visit in the world?
Playing baseball. So, I mean, St. Martin, St. Croix, Santo Domingo, stateside. I mean, I can't even, Orlando, Michigan. I could just keep on naming as far as that goes. Mexico.
All right, you know, that's a good little couple of stamps to get in your passport there.
Yeah, couple. We went Canada. I mean, we've been a couple places for sure.
Now, which was the most memorable trip you would say?
Most memorable trip. So I wasn't even on the team, but it's when they won the Junior League Latin American tournament, and we were able to travel to Detroit, Michigan to watch them play. And it was just like, you know, seeing the level of competition, people from Tokyo, people from Australia, all over the world, and just like watching how those cultural backgrounds actually just love one thing and one sport, and how everybody's so disciplined and respect each other. You know, it's a different level when you get to those type of stuff. So it's really good to see.
Definitely. That culture mixing, and it's just, to me, the Little League World Series is one of the greatest international events of our time. The Olympics is great, but just seeing the happiness and the joy on the kids' face when they make it to the Little League World Series or the Junior League World Series is just a bigger moment. The friendships that are there, the good times that they have, winning or losing, those kids have the most fun on national TV.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's when it's the best, is the fun. Now when you're getting paid it's different, but when they were doing that, it was just so pure. When we were doing that, it was so pure, and that's all it was. And that's why we have so many memories with it.
Definitely. That's one thing I would say. Playing sports at a young age, you always have these lifelong memories. You can remember that one bad hop that you got done to basically when you were 6 years old. It's
Yep.
just always something that sticks with you. You just
Yeah.
love the sport that much that you can't forget it at all.
Yep. 100%. Or that one die ball that you miss in the that caused the game, whatever.
Or
So
that one no hitter that you catch, like you never know.
you're right. You're right. 100.
All right. So moving forward into your college career, how did you go about getting recruited to your school?
So I used to practice a lot with the Future Stars program, so Darren Canton and a couple of those guys. And so my first 2 years, I actually went to Daytona State College, tried out for their team. The first year, ended up just playing on their developmental. It's like a JV in a sense. And it had a showcase the second year, and I got a couple offers from different colleges. And one of the colleges that I happened to get one from was Benedict College. So
Uh,
I knew a player, Juan Carlos is what we call him, Jason Reed, that played there a couple of years before me. So he got me in contact with the coach, and we started, exchanging informations, and then started getting scholarships involved and that type of stuff. So that's where I ended up playing.
Now, were you able to get recruited straight from here in the Virgins to go to Benedict College?
So yes and no. Yes, because he was a connect from the Virgin Islands, and he became part of their recruiting program.
Right.
But I was already attending a JUCO college in Daytona before that.
Now, were you playing baseball at that JUCO college?
So I was playing with their what you call a developmental team. So it's a
Right.
B team essentially.
Mhm.
And they were giving opportunities for people to come up on the team. And when I realized that wasn't going anywhere, I decided to change ship and actually go play.
Now, what are the experiences that you can say that you gained from a junior college? Junior colleges are often talked down upon, but
Mhm.
what are some things that you gained taking that step to a junior college rather than going to a bigger university right away?
Well, first off, I mean, like the only reason I wanted to go to college was to play baseball,
Yeah.
and it came to the end of the year where it was senior night, and I didn't announce where I was going, and my mom is like, "You're not staying home, so we're going to a college." So she just signed me up to Daytona State, and she said, "If you want to go walk on, but you're going to school, right?" And I tried, and didn't make the team, but I kind of lost the question what you asked. If you could repeat that again, I'm sorry.
So more so, what did you gain from going to a JUCO rather than jumping into a bigger university right away?
Well, a couple things. First off, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So wasting the amount of money that you can in a institute that is going to charge you more, like a 4-year institute, you could
Right.
always go to a JUCO and get a state license and go for a much cheaper price for credits as far as that goes. Secondly, I learned that junior colleges is for players who wants to get drafted right away. So the players that I was experiencing these times with, they were so much more advanced or level up than me. They were in the gym, they were in the weight room. You didn't have to tell them what to do. The level of maturity you had to catch up right away. Mentality was everything for them.
So now that's a very interesting thing that you mentioned because we have this notion somewhere, I don't know where it came from, that you don't see quality athletes. You don't see the best athletes in junior colleges. But like you said, a lot of players get drafted from junior colleges or they put themselves in the right position to be a D1 player out of a junior college. So that's a very big thing. I feel like a lot of athletes that are here, you can go to a junior college, you can polish your game, you can get your grades on track, be prepared to be in that D1 situation. We've seen a lot
Yeah.
of men and women from here go to junior college route and eventually end up on that D1 or D2 stage where they make a name for themselves and they're on recruiting radars, scouting radars.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about a plan, and that would be my major advice to anybody who wants to do anything. Always have a plan, because if you don't, you're gonna end up just going with the wind, and you don't want to do that. So if you plan to go to a junior college and you say, you know what, I'm gonna transfer to a 4-year university in 1 year, and I'm gonna make sure that I retake my SATs or whatever the case is to get you to that D1 spot. Because when you go there, you don't want a red shirt. That's 2 years wasted of time, right? So
Yeah.
it's just about having that plan.
All right. Growing up, did you play on any star teams growing up?
Yeah, I played on one all-star team. So I played in my senior league year. So essentially when I started getting way more serious about the sport, we actually held that Latin American tournament in St. Thomas, Lionel Roberts. So yeah, we ended up playing that one. Don't think we placed, but yeah.
Hey, listen, again, still representing your country.
Oh, for sure.
It might just seem like little league baseball, but at the end of the day, you were, at that point were one of the best little league baseball players in that age bracket or senior.
Garrett some profile.
Listen,
Yeah,
lots
for
of
sure.
against that in the MLB right now. So we can get into
Mm-hmm.
that question a little bit later because
Mm-hmm.
it's on a list of some of the
Yeah,
best you've seen in your
yeah, yeah,
baseball career.
for
You
sure.
know, Benedict College is a very, very popular college right now. We actually had, I think, 7 or 8 Virgin Islanders that are going to Benedict College this upcoming school year. Some
Really.
from volleyball, some softball, baseball. So definitely you have a gang coming that you can offer advice to.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
help you out with getting contact with those guys. But what is it like to be a person that can kind of give back to your island based on different situations. Like you being an alumni of Benedict, we know that you're going to help to guide those young men and women in the right direction. How does it feel to be that mentor in a situation now instead of being a student?
I'm just happy about it. Like I wish I had a mentor, you know, and it's just all about helping the community. And I'm always writing down how can I help, how can I help, and it's just like the more prepared I make myself, the more things that just fall in place, you know. And being able to help these players will be everything, you know. Give them advice on things that I wish I didn't do or things that I wish I did, and that could probably help them get to the next level. And I'm all for that. That's what it's about.
Definitely. I want to kind of jump back into your college baseball career. Any really successful seasons, any great games that you had in your baseball career during college?
Yeah, man. So the one that really points out to me, so it's a home game. It was my first college home run. My brother pretty much took off, came down there, and the pitcher was pitching whatever. I hit it out the park, and I'm rounding the bases. And while I'm rounding the bases, my brother is literally climbed up on the fence, right, and just shaking it, right. Everybody looking at him like he's
Mm.
crazy, and it's just like if I could remember one thing about my college career, that would be that one moment that was just really out there to me.
Now, this was,
Yeah.
you said, your last season or your last year?
This was my junior year,
Your junior year?
my junior year of college. Yep.
Now, did you play all 4 years there at Benedict College?
I ended up playing my junior year. I redshirted my sophomore year, and I quit the baseball team on my senior year. Actually,
Oh,
yep,
that's an interesting thing. So we're gonna kind of go around that part right
hmm
now.
yep.
What made you decide to stop playing baseball at that point in life?
So I was dealing with a lot of injuries at the time. High ankle sprains, shoulder problems. Really wasn't taking care of my body in the aspect of a player. Never really knew nothing about it. And also they were making room for new players to come in. So the coach came to me and he said, you know, like I want you to come on the team, but we're gonna have to cut your scholarship or whatever the case is. And I was just to the point where I was kind of fed up with the coach. And instead of saying, you know what, I'm gonna just do this last season for the love of the sport, I more went with pride and with my head and was like, well, you know what, you're not offering me money, I'm not doing it. One of the worst decisions I think I ever made. If I have to regret college, because I realized at the end it was like I only played this for the love of the sport,
Right.
right? And I talked a lot about my discipline at that point and my work for the game and my love for the game.
No, that's nothing. That's no issue at all. We always have those moments where we say maybe we should have done this instead. But I think the key is it that you learn from that situation and you know that you could have made another decision that would have benefited you more, though you don't
Oh, for
like
sure.
more in that situation. So I guess it's
Yeah.
always a learning thing to everything. So that's okay that you learn from that situation.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I ended up not graduating in the spring. I just went ahead and did it in December instead of prolonging another year of college just to
There you
play in the
go.
spring. You know, so it had its ups and downs for sure.
Now, you said something just now that's really, really good, and I don't think you noticed it. You said that you weren't really taking care of your body at that point. Now you're in a field where you're taking care of the body. So it's
Mhm.
really amazing how life kind of points you in a direction when it takes away the thing that you love.
Yeah, for sure. For
And we're
sure. I
gonna
mean,
get into that part a little bit later because that's
all right,
some
cool.
stuff there, and we really gonna hold off on that.
All right,
We
all right.
will talk to that. But moving on to that, you graduated from Benedict College. What was your degree and when you graduated?
So I had a Bachelor of Science in Biology when I graduated. Yep.
Now, was this your favorite subject going forward from high school? Biology, science was your thing.
Nah.
So
So when I
how did you get there?
so when I first started, I wanted to do computer engineering, right? But I didn't like computers. this was my mother rushing me into college, not knowing what I wanted to do. And I mean, I really blaming her, but I would also advise people, like, once again, have a plan, because if you don't know what you want to do, you're just wasting your time, your money, that type of stuff. But when I ended up going to Benedict, I did a internship for Jerry at Therapy Works, and I wanted to do physical therapy. And he was like, well, you could get a BS in biology. This was the route I would take because my school didn't offer exercise science. And I know that once I have a biology background, it's going to have a lot of the prerequisites to go into any type of health field. So that's why I chose that.
Now, another big thing with college, coming straight here from the Virgin Islands, is sometimes we aren't mentally and physically prepared for what it's like to be a student athlete at the next level. Were you physically or mentally prepared for that next level?
No. So physically, as in being strong, yes. Because I make sure I worked out. I was working out with a trainer for my 11th and my 12th grade, yeah. But as far as when I say physically, I'm just talking about on the field, training, running, staying in shape that way. And then mentally, 100% not. Part of it was due to culture shock. Others of it was, distractions. You went to college, you finally out the house, you could do what you want, right? You really have to have that discipline at that point. So, I mean, I definitely wasn't ready, but, I learned quick. You had to.
No, one of the things that you mentioned giving up on baseball at the tail end of your career. But before that, was there any point where you kind of doubted yourself in the sport and you felt like you wanted to give up?
Yeah, all the time. Every year when All-Star come around and you don't make the team, you kind of doubt yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's like, especially if you have a really good season, because you remember Mr. Peterson used to do like the whole batting averages, what you get for the year.
Listen,
So you can't lie.
He was ahead of his time. He had us lined up. He had stats going crazy for Little League Baseball, Junior League Baseball. Listen, we need to get in contact with Mr. Peterson. He is the guy for the stats. I love the job that he did. He made sure he updated it every week. In Little League, one thing I say for sure is we always knew our batting average. We always knew our stolen bases.
Yeah.
And he doing this out of his love for the sport.
Exactly.
Nobody to do it. He taking his free time. Listen, we gotta definitely big up Mr. Peterson. He's definitely an essential person in our baseball community here in the Virgin Islands, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. So he posted those things. So I'm top 10 in the league, right? In my 12th year, and still didn't make the team. So now at this point, I'm like, you have the stats right here. So what it is. So that's when I was like at that point thinking like, man, I really don't care for this anymore. But my parents always been the people to be like, yo, you gotta keep doing this. You gotta keep playing sports. Don't quit. And that's how it's always been.
Listen, to bounce back from something like that isn't easy. Besides your parents, what kind of motivation did you have to keep playing sports at that point?
I mean, my favorite player was Derek Jeter, and that's just pure excellence. Like you watch the Yankees play, you want to play baseball, And I actually had my brother. We always in competition, right? So I would say I have 3 brothers. It's me, my brother, Demois, and Bram Christian. So we always was playing around in the same age bracket, and we would always push each other. Always go practice. If one person get 3 for 4 one day, I want to go 4 for 4 because I want to bragging rights. Competition. That's what makes you better.
Definitely. Well, into your baseball career a little bit more. What would you say was your best stats you had in a ball game throughout your entire career?
Oof. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I was close to a cycle once. I don't think I went to the cycle, but in that game I did have a home run and about 3-4 RBIs, a couple stolen bases. So I would say that would be the max. But if we have to say best ball game, I mean, it wasn't even a regulated game. It was like one of those all-star exhibition games. Right. And Deshaun Lake was my pitcher, and Akeem was the other pitcher. Uh-huh. And I was hitting against him. He struck me out the first 2 times. He throwing a no-hitter. And last inning, I come up, we in Lion Roberts Stadium, he mess up, knock him out, win the game.
Listen, I don't know. You wouldn't have been my brother after that night, okay? You mess up with no-hitter with a home run too.
But the man strike me out twice, right. 3 times.
You couldn't go home with 3 strikeouts. You couldn't go home with us. I don't blame you. You have to defend yourself. So you never had the end of that.
I still don't have the end of it.
No, besides that, your biggest accomplishment in baseball, any awards, anything significant, any great moments that you endured?
Yeah, like I said, that high school, yeah, I pretty much won all the accolades. MVP. I pretty much Mr. Peterson did the stats again, and they presented me with a reward for that. College, no, they didn't really get as much accolades as I wanted to. But yeah, I would say that's definitely a best accolade I got that senior year.
No, we had a very special game your senior year, where the pitcher, Prashad Kamari, threw a perfect game. Where were you on the field during that perfect game?
Man, look, I was in right field and I was playing with crickets, okay?
Listen, that was the most interesting, boring ball game of all time. Listen, you say a no-hitter fun, but for a baseball player, you just stand out there on the field like, somebody hit the ball, please. But it just wasn't happening.
The ball never reached the outfield, you know. The whole game was just strikeout. Like, that was, I mean, it was a great game. That was amazing. You know, it's a really good thing to experience.
Now, what was that moment like for you to see your brother reach at elite level in high school? What was it for you being a brother, being supportive of him?
Man, it was crazy. It's so crazy to me how effortless it's always been. That's the thing about it. He quit baseball in his junior year. They didn't really care about it. Came back for his senior year. We actually lift heavy weights in the gym that day. We was doing a lot of legs the day before. And then he came out and he pitched a perfect game and he walks out into the car like it's nothing, goes home like it's nothing. You know, it's like, okay, I just threw a perfect game, whatever. Whereas anybody else would be like, I just threw a perfect game. You know what I mean?
That was 2010. No, recently we just had a young lady throw a perfect game in a baseball game just about a month ago. So it's crazy how something so magnificent can happen more than once in Virgin Islands history.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And there's definitely going to be more because the Virgin Islands has so much talent, the best talent I've ever seen, right? It's just all about the polishing and, you know, taking care of your body. I'm sure we can get into that talk a little later.
Definitely. That's one thing I would say. If you walk around the island for more than a minute, not even more than a minute, you're going to see the athletes we have, the kind of athletes we have. We just need the polishing. We just need the coaching. We just need the relationships, the big brothers, the uncles to kind of bring these players in, the aunts to bring these players into the ballparks and hone these skills that they have. We have a lot of talent here. We just have it kind of untapped sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it's just all about the resources. And that's why we're here. That's why we're working on this. You know, the more network we build and the people that we could bring in to help, that's the key right there.
All right. Now, you played baseball just about most of your life. What was the moment you realized that you can have a career that is not baseball and still be successful?
Maybe about a year ago, honestly. So my last baseball game was in 2015. And I took a year off of college, was just, you know, working regular jobs. And I was actually depressed for like maybe a year and a half. Didn't know what was the next step, never planned the next step after baseball. And that took some time. It really took some accustomed to getting, not waking up every morning, walking out. Or, you know, you could still do it, but you don't really have purpose and you didn't feel like you had purpose. And I kind of went through that. But last year when I actually, you know, got my license and I realized I was helping people, and I actually, my brother was a big project of mine. So he was having some issues and, you know, he came to me and we started working on it. Couldn't get him to a chiropractor in the beginning. He was like, what are you doing to me? I feel weird. Well, any problem he has now, as the first person he called and text him, like, you come and do this for me or you come and do that for me. And I just like, you know, like when I really start to believe into what I'm doing, I realized that I could help a lot more people than I ever thought I could have.
Listen. That's a very good story there. I definitely like it. But listen, I know I looked down at your name just now a couple of times. We have a very important part about your name right there in front. That doctor, but we're going to get into that right after this commercial break. We'll be back with more Between the Lines presented to you by Live Wire Sports after these messages.
fine. But still I woke up today. Another day they get on my grind. Got me singing, oh, oh, oh. Effort on bill for pan ready. Oh, oh, oh. Effort on bill for pan ready.
All right, we are back with more Between the Lines presented to you by Live Wire Sports. We are still here hanging out with Akeem. Akeem, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Let's dive right into it. Now, I have to address it correctly, right? Dr. Akeem Morris.
Hello. Hello.
All right. Where does the doctor title come from?
So the doctor title comes from Doctor of Chiropractic. So essentially, I'm a doctor in my respective field of chiropractic, and gotta put that there.
You share with our viewers what exactly is chiropractic.
So chiropractic is essentially the way that we want to align the body. And when we say align the body, we just mean that you have vertebra, which is your spine, and you have nerves that run through those spines and the spinal cord. And we want to make sure that you're sending correct messages from your brain all the way down to your to the limbs of your body. Right. So what we as chiropractors do is we scan your body for imbalances, and we pretty much fix it. We allow your body to heal itself. Just put it in the right place. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. As soon as you say that doctor of chiropractic, they kind of sit up straight and kind of fix it when you start talking with the body. It made me think about the eyes.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been in this field of work?
So I graduated December 2020, but I've been in chiropractic school before that for about 3.5 years. The first 2.5 years was just straight academics. And then the last year was just clinicals, where we were seeing inpatients, outpatients for about 9 months. And then, went from there.
Now, when did you officially receive your title of doctor?
December 18th, 2020.
Okay. So you're fairly young into your career, which means you have a long way to go. A lot more experiences, a lot more knowledge to share as well. So,
Yep.
What made you decide to start this journey?
So, like I was saying, I just always like helping others. I wanted to go in the health field, so I wanted to do PT. Shadowed PT a little bit, loved it, loved the aspect of rehabbing patients. But at that time when I was shadowing them, they didn't have the term doctor in front of it. So you would have to wait for surgeons to send you scripts and tell you what they want you to do with the patient, versus a chiropractor gets to actually diagnose the patient, see what's going on with them, and then choose their own treatment plan. So I kind of roll with that.
Okay. Now, do you have your own practice?
So not yet. Right now, I'm working for a guy named Golson Spine. He has about 4 offices down here in South Florida, and I'm pretty much running the plantation office.
Wow. Actually, that's a big jump from becoming a doctor 6 months ago. So we're already on the ascent. I love to see it. That's a great thing there for you going.
Yeah, it's been great.
You're located in what part of Florida?
So Plantation, Florida. It's in Fort Lauderdale. Yep.
Now you spoke about not taking your body serious earlier, which was a really big thing for me, because for someone who did not take their body serious at that time to be in this position, something had to motivate you along the way that you need to take care of the body the correct way to get in this position.
Yeah, I mean, so a little history. So I didn't even realize that chiropractic was all part of me from way before I even knew what chiropractic was. So my sister, when I was in high school, a senior, she was 4 years older than me. She, long story short, ended up getting sick, had a stroke on the left side, and got paralyzed on, certain areas. So she would go to OTs, PTs, surgeons, and nobody seemed to really give her the type of care and excitement that chiropractors gave her. So she used to go to this guy in St. Thomas named Dr. Brad Capel, and every time she would come out, she's just smiling, she's having a great time. And prior to being sick, she used to work for him. So I kind of let that go up maybe 5-6 years, went to college, and then I went to visit one of my college buddies that I played baseball with, and he said, come check out this school. I want you to just see what I do. And he gave me my first adjustment there. And from there, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna, see if I could get accepted into this program. Applied, got accepted 3 weeks later, and that was history. That
moment that you just shared with your sister is probably one of the most iconic moments I've heard here on Between the Lines. your sister, her outlook on her situation and loving chiropractic is kind of what really motivated you. I love to see that you use your sister as an inspiration to help you guide yourself onto this path. That's definitely a motivational thing that you did there. I love to hear it. That's really sensational.
Yeah, thanks for sure. I just
No,
wanted, I mean, I saw her in a lot of pain, and I wanted to see how I could help. And even up to this day, at first I was, skeptical of certain things. I was like, maybe I could find a cure to help her be able to walk properly again or do this properly again. But the more I went into chiropractic, I actually learned that, the nerves control these type of things and yada, yada, yada. You go into it and you realize you can only do stuff to help the person's quality of life. And if I can help my sister's quality of life, I'm good with that.
great story, great motivation, great job, man. All around. That's definitely one of the stories that will stick to me with this show of all time, honestly. No, you spoke about working with your brother. The question really was, have you worked with any big time athletes? I think Akil is a big time athlete. He's
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
player. That's something big. But have you worked with any other athletes besides Akil so far?
So if we're talking big time, no. But as far as athletes, yes. So I volunteer with athletes, sometimes on the weekends, sometimes during after work. But I also, I go see my brother play sometimes. And when I do, his teammates are like, hey, can your brother, adjust me or that type of stuff. So I'm kind of working on that, start LLCs and really getting the paperwork down because you are liable for certain people and certain practices. You can't practice in certain states without license and that type of stuff. So once those are, set in stone, then we're going to really start, opening it up, working on a bunch of players.
No, I had thinking about just the fact that you have a lot of siblings that are pretty well known in this community as well. You want to give a shout out to your siblings and your parents as well right now?
All right. Shout out to mommy and daddy, Colette and Kenneth Morris. Love are you. Shout out to Akil. Hope you have a great season. Shout out to my sister Annika. Congratulations on the baby. And
Likewise.
Live Wire Sports, she's a part of Live Wire Sports as well. So yeah, I mean, we definitely are known in the community and been trying to, establish ourselves in the community and just give back and be known as who we are, just honest people and just loyal. Family is everything for us. So big up.
Now, interesting fact: a lot of people that are on the show right now that are watching the show might not know that you are
Man.
one of a kind, but you came in a three. You came in a trio. You
Yeah,
came in
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a triplet.
And that was interesting because you and your brother played baseball in high school. You and Akeem played baseball, and Annika was a cheerleader, correct? So
Correct.
the athletes just kind of run in the family there.
Yeah, yeah. They
What
definitely
was
do.
what was it like competition wise for you guys growing up with all three of you at that age?
So, you know, I feel like it was always a competition, whether it was who can get in the grocery store first, who can eat first, who can win the game, whatever the case is. But we noticed that everybody was good at what they did in certain aspects, respective aspects. Annika was always great at academics. She tried really hard for academics. Akil, he didn't have to try. Like he was just really good at math for some reason, just used to do it. And I always used to like to do music and stuff like that on the side. And we all had our own little elements that we did, and we just respected each other with that. Tried to make each other better in other things that we were doing.
Definitely, definitely. And now we know how the triplet thing kind of works, where you kind of are one in the mind at some point. What
Yeah.
was that moment like for you when you saw your brother drafted into the MLB and actually going to live out his dream?
I was more excited than he was. So, we get a text, we see whatever the case is. He walk in the living room because we were at the house, and he says, "I just got drafted in the 10th round," and that was it. Walks away,
Not excited?
just like the perfect game. I pitch a perfect game. I just get drafted by the Mets. He
Really
just always been
casual
very.
with it.
I'm sorry.
I said really casual with it.
Yeah, just very casual. Knows that he was supposed to be there. Planned for it and just let God do the work.
Now that's an interesting situation because the entire Virgin was cheering him on, but no louder cheers than what's from the Morris household. What was that moment for you when you saw him on an MLB mound for the first time, making his debut? Were you nervous for
Man,
it?
I would know of us playing, but it's a crazy story because we actually flew up to New York that weekend and we watched the first game, he didn't enter in the first game. We watched the second game, he didn't enter in the second game. They ended up putting him in the game on the Sunday when we flew back home. So he finally came in the game we were on the plane getting ready to land in St. Thomas. So we actually didn't see his first major league game. Of course, we recorded it on the DVR and watched that at home. But yeah, very nervous for him. Very nervous. I feel like every time he pitching, not even nervous because I don't think he can do the job, but I feel like I'm right there every time.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yep.
Now, moving back into you a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
what's one thing that you want others to know about chiropractic that they may not know? Because we think we know things from the outside sometimes, but what's a tip or a hint that you can give to our viewers about chiropractic that may help them in the long run?
So a lot of people view chiropractic as my back hurts, I was in a car accident, let's go to this person and get our back fixed. The way I view chiropractic is wellness, right? I view it as preventative care. If you come and you get your body aligned regularly, then you would be less prone to injuries and less prone to having those type of effects, right? And I try to compare it to with my patients to, you have a car, you get oil changes. It's just that simple. If you don't change the oil, your body is gonna be misaligned and you're gonna pretty much eventually get injured. If you don't change your oil, the transmission is gonna go.
All right, okay. I like that. I like that analogy. It definitely fits there. What is your dream for your career? Where do you want your endpoint to be? Your final goal?
Final goal. I want a multiple practices. So having multiple practices, some stateside, and I definitely want to come back to the community, whether it's, even if I'm there, twice a month, 3 times a month, and giving back to both communities. But I also, one of my goals that I have written down is, becoming the first Olympic chiropractor for the Virgin Islands team.
Listen, we might have to plug you in right there and then get that done, because that's something you don't know that you need it until you need it.
Exactly.
That's something that we could definitely look forward to. The Olympics coming up this year. I don't think it's too late to get you on the roster for the Olympics to go over there with them. I don't think so.
Hey, we gotta talk to the right people.
No, you just mentioned having a practice at home. Would you be interested in doing a community event to kind of bring awareness to chiropractic and how we can help athletes as they grow through their young years?
Yeah, 100%. So we actually had one in play coming up already. So it was supposed to be last March, but then COVID hit. So Dr. Brad Capel and I was going to have a table at a marathon. I think Joel Bellet was hosting that marathon. I would have tables for, different sports and that type of stuff. And we're going to be there and we're going to enlighten the community about chiropractic. But in the future, definitely, trying to just teach. That's what doctor means. Teach and enlighten people and show them what it can do for them. Change the quality of life.
I love it. Any advice or anything that you can tell our young athletes going forward that you think can help them? Right now, athletes are struggling in 2 situations. One, some of our fields were not in the best condition after the hurricanes, and the next thing being COVID. Any advice you can offer them about to push forward after this time? It's a really struggling moment for them, but they kind of need some advice. Pick me up. You have anything for them?
Yeah, for sure. Just never stop trying. But another thing, one of my friends that I network with up there always says, he's from the Virgin Islands as well, and he's like, if you think you're working hard enough, that means you ain't working hard enough. You don't need the fields. The fields is just a plus, but you could be doing your push-ups, you could be doing your sit-ups, you could be doing your strength drills, wherever you find fit, right? You don't need much space. So just keep on, believing in God first off and believing in yourself. Stay out of distractions and just believe in yourself. That's the best thing I could tell anybody. Planning is everything.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now you cannot survive our interview there. You put your doctor hat on, you cannot catch me good. But I want you to take your doctor hat off. Sit back in your chair. Relax a little bit.
All right.
We're going to get really fun right now.
Okay.
We're going to do a little interactive game called A Few of My Favorite Things. Now, as an athlete, I love to hear some of your favorite things, but I also have things I'm going to disagree with as well. So come good with your answers now, because this button head and button right there, you say leave studio. I got kick you. All right?
Okay.
So let's see what you have for me. A few of my favorite things. Your favorite color?
Blue.
See, there we go. We done starting already on a bad foot.
Bad
foot. You're right. I went to 2 schools, Charlotte Mali and North Carolina A&T, where they wear the same colors, and I still don't like blue. I don't know why.
We definitely they're cool.
Our school colors should be like red and gold.
Red and gold?
Red and gold.
Okay.
I don't know about our red chicken heart, but that's all right.
Anything but the red and gold. They're too close to the can, man. They could keep them colors.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We in that. Your favorite social media platform?
Instagram.
Why Instagram?
I don't know, man. Me really on the reading the whole post for a long time. I don't guess I don't have as much time to actually be on social media unless I like promoting or doing business type stuff. So I've been trying to get into TikTok, ain't really into it yet. So I gotta say Instagram.
You know, I wasn't really into TikTok neither, but I realized TikTok is like an encyclopedia. You can learn anything in the world on TikTok. It really kind of growing on me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay,
But
okay.
Instagram, we'll take that Instagram one. All right, your favorite number. This is an athlete thing. I think only athletes have favorite numbers. But your favorite number?
13.
Why 13?
For some reason, I just like, that man used to call me A-Rod in my senior year. And it just stick to me. So I always used to stick to that 13. Plus, it's lucky.
All right, okay. So we are Paul George fan or no?
We're Paul George fan. Yeah. I would Paul George. James Harden. Yeah, let's say yeah.
He wearing 13. You gotta like him. Have to. All right, your favorite athlete?
Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter, then. Well, I gotta say both. Can I have two? Derek Jeter and Kobe Bryant. But just the work ethic. If you look at both of them, you could say that both of them they carry themselves very well, and it's just the work ethic. It's a point where talent and skill meets, and then skill has to take over.
Listen,
and they both do that.
You just name two sensational athletes. Like to me, I never liked the teams that they played for, but I can't help but respect those two gentlemen. They approach the game different. Their preparation, their effort they put into the game is completely unmatched. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
But those are two of the most hated and loved franchises at the same time.
Yep, I agree.
Like, you either love them or you hate them. You can't even game between.
It's okay though, because Yankees get 27 rings. We're going for the 28 one soon. I realize, not this. Maybe. We can see. We still got some season left.
You're right. All right, your favorite musical artist?
Wow, man, music as in not even a genre, just music in total. Your favorite one?
Favorite one? Anyone?
J. Cole. If we're going to the islands, Todd is my guy. We're going Todd all day.
Definitely.
You know what I mean, gotta push him up. But yeah, I mean, grew up loving Rock City. So I give you 3, but that's one.
Hey, that's all right. That's one. That's still a favorite artist. I'll take all 3 of those. Yeah. Favorite clothing brand?
I for home, man. I gotta say big up to Dreamland, big up to DPN, man. I feel like what name is Lonnie. Them have a shot that they've been promoting as well. It look good. Don't know the name of it, but I all about supporting home.
It might be Live Your Life, I think.
Live Your Life, yeah, Live Our Life.
Okay. That's a big one there as well. I like that. All right. I like the fact that you just went local just now. That just changed the whole game. I think definitely supporting our local brands, our local people all together is something that we should really do. So I like the fact that your favorite brands are local brands. Definitely a big thing. Now, your favorite academic subject, we kind of know this already, but favorite academic subject?
PE.
There we go. You're right. You told the complete and honest truth. Listen, I don't care what sport, what class I like in high school. PE was always my favorite.
Why not?
But right after PE, what are you taking? Not lunch neither. Don't take lunch.
I actually, I really like business. So in high school, I took that business program. I enjoyed just all of the business classes.
Okay. I go put you on the spot here because somebody might be watching. Your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher, my son. Man, I didn't really like school.
You might be watching though.
I didn't really like school. Mr. Edwards. He from St. Kitts. He had teacher history.
Yeah.
I love history, but yeah, he always used to say this to motto.
Big up to Mr. Edwards for sure.
Big up Mr. Edwards. Yeah, man.
Your favorite food?
Baked macaroni, barbecue chicken.
Anybody could cook it or it gotta be mom?
Mom's. I mean, I eat it regardless because I love it, but mom's at a different level. I still can't even make how she will make it. Don't know how.
You're just on your Thanksgiving meal just now. You're lucky. All right. Moving forward from food now. This is a really, really personal one. And we might start an argument on the show right now. Your favorite tart? Your favorite tart?
Tart. Oh, coconut all day.
All right. Get him out of the studio, guys.
Coconut all day, big man. Coconut. Hello.
No way. Listen, you have to fight with coconut tart to eat it now. Like with
Depend
it.
who making your coconut tart. Where you getting it from?
Boy. Give me a second favorite.
Second favorite, pineapple or guava. That's a tie.
What? Pineapple or guava?
That's a
Yeah,
tie. Honestly, as a coconut man, I love the coconut.
guava shouldn't even be on the list.
The point
Coconut.
is, the fact that you asked me for a second one, I couldn't answer you. I had to give you two because coconut is it.
Uh,
You know, I can ask you, what is your favorite brown soda?
Lime Ricky.
Okay, all right. You can keep asking me questions. All right,
Your favorite brown soda. I gotta add that question. I love that. That's a
banana,
classic.
banana.
All right. Okay. As long as you say cola champagne, we are it.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, soda's really classic. Though. I really like that one. That's a good one. They need to bring it back and just have it at a bar park all the time.
Facts.
All right. Your favorite hobby besides sports?
Music.
Music. Now, what stops you from going on the music part then?
Stability, security. So actually, funny story. So when I was in Daytona State, me and Leo, we were trying out for the team and stuff. Like you said, both of it didn't work out. Leo said, you know what? I go in full sale. I love this. I say, I can't see a future there. I go in school. You know what I mean? So it's always that stability, and it's all about believing in yourself to get where you want to go. School ain't always the answer, but it's just all about believing in yourself and being good at what you want to do.
And out of that, you went different paths, and again, both of you are still
Both
successful.
successful, 100%.
It works out for who it needs to
Yeah,
work.
for sure.
All right, favorite sports teams.
All right, so Yankees for sure. Basketball used to be the Lakers, called Kobe, but I realized I don't like them because they get LeBron. Um, I don't really get a basketball right now. I just enjoy players. So I like Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, that type of stuff. Football, Packers. Don't
You
ask
like
me
a
what.
bunch of teams at home.
What happened?
You like a bunch of teams at home.
Yeah,
Brooklyn home, Golden State Warriors home. Well, you like the players at home. Let's say that.
yeah. I like the
Packers,
player.
I don't know. Packers have two good players, and the rest of the team it is getting mad all the time.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is the man.
Your favorite sports movie?
Ooh, Blind Spot.
Listen,
Blind Spot. That's what you call it.
Blindside with Michael Orr.
Yeah, Blind Side. Yeah.
Blindside, definitely. Listen, I watched that movie at one point, and then when I realized that he was a real player, of course you want to go and do your research. I'm that person. Whenever I see
Yeah.
based on a true story, I go and Google all the time. So to see that he was a player that lasted pretty long in NFL, I think he still is in the NFL right now, actually.
Really?
Amazing moment.
Yeah, for sure. It would definitely inspirational for a lot of people who actually go through things like that, because you never know what somebody's going through, right? We might have roofs over our head, but you never know what athletes or anybody do to get what they got, and that's why you don't judge nobody. Just be happy for them.
Definitely. And your favorite sports moment that you were not involved in?
Favorite sports moment? I gotta go with Derek Jeter, 3,000 hit, Yankee Stadium.
No, you know what? That's iconic.
I have
Like,
a plaque
really
with
cool.
Dot on it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
that's my boy. Yeah, that's my guy.
No, I really thought you were going to go with Derek Jeter's last hit. To me, that was
What to walk off. So I was
Yeah.
thinking that in the head and
That
nobody
was
had done it.
iconic.
Yeah, that was.
Listen, Derek Jeter has some amazing moments, though. That's
Yeah, for
definitely
sure.
going to be matter. He did a bad job with the Marlins right now, but that's okay. We were
It's all right.
He had a great
You're
career.
making money.
You know, they often say that the people who are the best players don't do the best job when it comes to the front office and coaching sometimes. But when
I
you get
feel
the
that
money,
that's more politics, because he don't own them particularly. Now you
That's
put him in
true.
the spot as coach, like how Steve Nash has the Brooklyn Nets, is a different story. But he's just an investor at this point, so you can't be getting on my boy like that, man. Give it a couple years.
it is, they kind of put the at least as the face. Like, yeah, Derek Jeter is the owner of the Marlins because Derek
Exactly.
Jeter is a player. It looks good.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But on top of that, I like what the Marlins are doing. They have a female general manager. So that's a big thing in sports altogether.
Yeah, that's fire.
Listen, I like it. Let me see right here. What we got here? All right. We're going to move forward. We're actually going to take our last commercial break, a really quick commercial break, and we'll be back with a surprise for you coming up next. Very good.
Cool.
We'll be back with more Between the Lines presented to you by Livewire Sports.
Hi, my name's Aaliyah Boston. I'm from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. I attend Worcester Academy and I'm in the class of 2019. When I was 9 years old, I started playing basketball, and since then my goal was to go to college for free and to play in the WNBA. So my parents started looking for camps in the States, and after a couple of years of going away to camps, they started looking for an AU program, which is basically a travel program in the summer, and we found one in Worcester, Massachusetts, and that's closer to where my aunt lives, so that's why we chose Worcester Sting. When I first started, it was a lot. It was a lot different. The practices were 2.5 hours long. It was a lot of individual workouts, and then you get into like the plays. But as I moved to a new AU team called IXL. So I woke up at 6 a.m. on Saturday and drove an hour 15 to Connecticut, and then rode with my friend 3 hours to New Jersey for a 5-hour practice, and then I stayed overnight in New York, and then I had a 5-hour practice on Sunday, and then I did the 4-hour drive back home. That was a whole new change from the one before. About 2.5 hours were individual workouts with the coach, so it was just reps and reps and more reps. It was intense, I know that, but I knew the amount of work that I need to put in to accomplish the dreams that I had. The transition from playing basketball in St. Thomas versus playing basketball in the States, I think the intensity level for one, and I think there's a lot more exposure up there. So in the 6th and 7th grade, I attended Antilles School, and I played on the basketball team there. And when I was here, I thought that was that was intense, and we played a lot of games. But when I moved up to Worcester, and I started my freshman year at Worcester Academy, it was different again. We had 24 games. We played a bunch of different teams. The intensity level, again, once you score, it's not just oh, we'll wait for them to come down. Everything was fast paced. It went from 0 to 100.
I'm doing great, even though every day's not fine. But still I woke up today, another day to get on my grind. Got me singing, whoa, whoa, yeah, for it, I'm built for it, born ready. Whoa, whoa, yeah, for it, I'm built for it, born ready.
All right, we are back with more Between the Lines, presented to you by Livewire Sports. We're going to close out here with our special guest, Dr. Akeem Morris. Akeem, you still here with us?
Yeah, we here.
All right. So this is the part here that'll get really, really interesting. You got time up?
Yeah, we got time out. Time out. I had a foul. So
all right.
When I will mention the Morris family, I forget to mention my oldest sister, Amber Morris. The girl I know I love her, and I'm sorry for, not mentioning her. So love sis.
You definitely, they leave me out of the Thanksgiving picture this year.
Yeah, I just mess up. I was doing so good and I mess up. All right.
It's a pressure situation where you gotta think about all this stuff at once. So
I know.
If she got an apology, I know she watching. And if not, she can go back and watch it. But it's still in the dark house a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, going forward here, we got some interesting photographs here of you. I just want you to tell us what you were thinking in the moment or what was happening in these pictures. Go ahead and get the picture across.
Home run. What happened?
What year was this?
This was senior year high school. Was taking pictures. I was the captain of the Chicken Hawks baseball team that year. And yeah, number 22.
Listen, them vests so vintage. I'm mad child them I don't want to vest anymore.
Yeah.
I like that. I like this, the pinstripes too, no? That's
that was so fire.
Only pinstripes ever. All right, moving on.
Only pinstripes. You got the Yankees, man.
Uh-huh.
Oh. All right. What was I thinking? Wow, I finally did it. I got to play college baseball.
It's a legit picture. You're popular. Listen, a lot of things that you've done so far are tied to the things that you like. I noticed that. The pinstripes and the Yankees, this yellow and gold and purple like Kobe Bryant.
Yep. Uh-huh.
tie his hair. We'll move on to the next one.
The sun hot. I can't see with my shades.
Listen, I had look. Which one is you? I got check.
I right next to so look all the way in the center, right, and then go two to your left. I right there in between the two guys.
Okay.
On the back, way in the back.
Hey, you got some big guys in front. You're supposed to put it on the smaller guys in front. What are you doing?
It's the mound, man. It's the mound. They're on the top of the mound.
Now, what year was this?
This was my 2014-15 season.
2014, 15. So that was your junior season?
Yeah, that's my junior season.
Now, how did the year end for you guys?
We lost in the SIAC tournament. We ended up losing the game to go to the semifinals. We lost to Stillman University, which had a player from St. Croix, Jose Alicia, that was on that team. We actually went to school together in Daytona as well, and he ended up getting the ring that year.
I mean, hey.
One Virgin Islander, exactly. I go with it.
So once you were eliminated, that automatically become the team that you cheer for, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love that. That's one thing I loved about sports here in the Virgin Islands. When you compete island against island, it's a thing, it's competition. But as that winner is declared, you are now a fan of the other team. You know, cheering for this team wherever they go to represent the Virgin Islands as a whole. I love it.
Yeah,
Pride.
100%.
Moving forward, let's see what we got here.
Man. All right. So this is actually a big moment. So this is Cairo School. I actually stopped playing baseball for a while. And this is the first softball team that I joined. When I started Cairo School, we ended up winning the championship that year.
Listen, this is how it goes with baseball players. You always go from playing baseball to that year where you rec leagues of softball and you relive your glory days.
Oh, 100%.
How did you guys play in this league here?
I'm sorry, repeat that one more time.
What did you guys do in this league here this year?
Oh, this was a championship game. We won that.
Okay. There we go. Winning baseball championships and softball championships. All right. I see.
Gotta put some respect on the name, man.
Moving on.
Man. Why you thinking in this? Why I didn't put on my contacts?
No, were you the only of the trio that wore glasses?
So no, we all wore glasses. Akeem threw them away from junior high. He said he didn't want them. Just was wear contacts or wouldn't wear them at all. Annika, she'd wear both, but now she'd wear just strictly contacts now. And then that's me.
We gotta dig deeper in this picture right there. Who was born first?
So it was born first. The first one in the middle, the smallest one, the head honcho.
The boss, definitely.
The boss.
The second.
It went to my brother, and then it's me. I'm the baby.
Okay. Right, now that's something I actually did not know. I really did not. I actually thought you were first. Crazy.
No. I'm the last, and then our oldest is 4 years older than us. Pretty much by at least right close to 4 years. She's like 4 years and 6-7 days.
All right. Let me see. Anything else? We have any more pictures here? We have one more.
Man, at this point, this was just like, so this was the white coat ceremony. This is when I got to actually stop going into academic classes and start treating outpatients in clinic. So the biggest part for me was just having my family there. I felt overwhelmed, if we had to use one word for that, overwhelmed.
Okay. Now, who was in the picture with you here?
All right, so down to the bottom with me is my best friend, Elvis. And then we go above, we start all the way at the top left, which is my grandfather. Then my aunt, my dad and mom, my eldest sister, my grandma, and then my girlfriend, Shardane, is at the end.
Okay. Definitely well supported in this picture. Great picture, great family picture.
Yep.
All right, let's see what we have. A couple more here.
Just thank you. Just so very thankful for the type of support that they gave me, ultimately, honestly, just to that moment and being successful.
Great moment here. And our last picture here.
Man, all again, just very excited to go on to the next level. This is when I knew that, I could actually help people and do it on a professional level and just, provide for myself. This is when baseball and athletics left and doctor kicked in.
All right. I like it. Now, how long did it take you to get through chiropractic school?
So it was 3.5 years.
3.5 years. On top of your bachelor's degree?
On top of my bachelor's, yeah.
So we didn't do too bad with the pictures. We didn't embarrass you too much. You are.
I ain't do too bad, man.
All right. So we also have here some questions from our viewers that we want to make sure we get over to you. We're going to put them up on the screen right here. I love this first question right here. What did you learn from, I'm sorry. Go back up right here. This one right here. What did you learn from your mother about pitching?
It's all about strategy, man. Strategy and confidence. She was a really good pitcher. She didn't really wear much on her face, so she don't really wear much on her face ever. But when she's pitching, you really can't tell what she's thinking, and it's all about that strategic game.
Okay. And then we have another question here for you. Since we became a big Dr. Chiropractic.
Oh, tell them.
Since when?
Since when you cook on with brother, my boy. Tell them your sister's a Benedict alumni as well.
Oh,
you're a Benedict alumni?
Okay.
I didn't know that. What's this? Hi, Miss Des. Everything blessed? This is my financial aid. So she always used to make sure I was straight in the financial aid office, and I never really had to worry about, scholarships and everything going through. She just always send me a text and say you're good, and then go from there. So yeah, man, for sure.
Is she from the Virgin Islands as well?
Yeah, she's from St. Croix.
Okay. Hey, listen.
Yeah. So we had them. So she actually, if she's still there, we need to get our 7-8 players in contact with her, and then figure that out.
Oh yeah, we could definitely make that happen.
She looked out while I was there, even just checking on me, that type of stuff.
That's good. We love the family environment that she provided for you, and we know that she's going to do that for the rest of the kids that are coming as well, especially since we have a couple of them from St. Croix as well. So you probably have contact already, but if not, we will make sure that we get that done through Livewire for sure. Now, before we go, last question. I missed this one definitely. Who are some of the best players you played against in your career?
Oh, man. Coston Motion, classic, Kyle Lamada. My brother, Kyle Shillingford, Frank Leonard, Kellen St. Louis, Jabari Blash. I mean, to name a few, Timothy, the Cottons. I mean, we had some good talent coming up, and I mean, them was always like 2 years younger than me, so there were a lot of guys coming, don't know what to do with it, just trying to figure it out,
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
And then once again, we want to thank you for coming out, taking time out of your night, Dr. Akeem Morris, to come and talk to us, to come and share your story, as well as be a source of motivation for the kids that are to follow. We definitely appreciate you, and we hope that you're able to get something done in the Virgin Islands very soon. We know that's your plans, but things are kind of holding up. But we know eventually you'll get here and do all that you could for the Virgin Islands right here.
Yeah, man, for sure. Thank you to Livewire Sports for having me. I love what I'm doing with the community and, bringing sports back. I literally sit home the other day and watch a softball game in Frenchtown. I never could have done that. So, big up ourselves. Keep doing our thing, man. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. Any shout-outs to anybody else before you leave? Anybody who helped you along the way?
Yeah. Shout out to, the whole family once again. Darren Canton, Michael Butte, Aunt Teresa, my girlfriend Shadeen. Shout out to, it takes a village. I just want to thank everybody who's had part of my career and helped part of my raising.
Definitely. Once again, we thank you for coming out. We really appreciate you. I wish you the best of luck on your future goals and your career going forward from today.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right. Livewire fans, thanks a lot for tuning in tonight. It was a very special episode. We will be back next week, I think, for another episode of Between the Lines presented to you by Livewire Sports. But for now, good night and keep it locked to Livewire Sports on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and all our other social media platforms. Have a good night.
I'm doing great, even though every day's not fine. But still I woke up today. Another day they get on my grind. Got me singing, whoa. Effort, I'm built for pondering. Whoa. Effort, I'm built for